It's time for Views from the Stands with your hosts, Stevie B, GMike, and BC. Let's get it poppin', y'all.
What up? Steve's not here today, if you guys didn't notice, but it's your boy BC and GMike BC. How you feeling?
I'm tired, man. I am tired. I'm sure you're feeling the same way, man. You can't tell from the voice, man. I am all out of gas, man. I'm running on fumes tonight.
No, I feel you. I mean, that's been us the last 2 weeks, which is why, guys, we haven't dropped an episode because we've been busy.
Yeah,
We've never been able to record and talk some smack on here, you know.
Seriously, for y'all that don't know, man, like GMike does like a billion different things, man. He just got a new job. Like he'd be like working those crazy AM shifts, like 5 a.m. I'm talking like, man, when you back in high school doing 2-a-days, waking up that early, man, that's that kind of work right there, man.
Dude, man, 2-a-days, bro. You know what's funny? Because nowadays the athletes in high school, I'm sure college knows for sure. Obviously, pros know, but high school athletes, high school football athletes, they don't know anything about 2-a-days.
Oh, bro. No, dude, we went through summer camp, man, and that was like we did 3-a-days, man. Like you ate breakfast, go work. You ate lunch, go practice. You ate dinner, go practice.
Dude, man, and even during school time, when school was about, bro, wake up at 6:00. You get to school by 7:00, so you don't be late. Whatever, you're doing school throughout the day, boring as hell. And then after, we would do practice till like 7 at night. Like,
yep.
Not getting paid.
Those were good times, man. I miss those times. I'm feeling the effects, man, of all those football days though too, man. Finding out your boy's got like bone spurs in his knee. It's like, oh, this is what getting old's like. I'm gonna get a knee replacement soon one of these days. You'll find out about it for sure.
Getting old for real, man.
Oh man, I'm pretty sure.
Guys, welcome in another episode of the Views from the Stand Sports Podcast. We appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys hear my voice, it's a little messed up because my allergies are kicking in. Going great, but all good. We're gonna have a good show, man. You know, we're back to be on. Happy to be back on. Before we get into it, if you guys please can give us a follow, subscribe on the YouTube channel, look up our social media accounts, TikTok, IG. Now we got Twitter. It's at Views Stance. You'll see the links on the screen. If you're watching the recorded episode, the live episode, you won't see it. But you'll see it at the bottom. If you see the little third layer at the bottom, it has the social media accounts there. So don't be shy. Give us a follow. Feel me?
Talk smack. And
shout out to Varsity Sports Nation, man. We have our show on there on Roku. If you have Roku, you can find the Varsity Sports Nation app. Their social medias, their website, you'll see our show there. Great website for high school sports. They're doing a lot of talk shows on sports, and they're trying to get involved in college as well. They've been giving us a lot of love and support, so we appreciate them, and we appreciate them for giving us this partnership and continue to keep growing, baby. Yeah. But today, man, we're going to be talking about some NFL. We got some of the very important to BC's dear heart that retired from his team. We got MLB opening week. It's going to be live tomorrow night. New York Yankees against the San Francisco Giants is going to be a thriller. We got the NCAA men's basketball tournament has been going insane, has been bananas. We're down to the Sweet 16. Or is it the Elite 8?
Sweet 16.
Sweet 16, yeah.
Yes, sir.
16, and some ballers on each of those teams, and it starts back up again on Thursday, goes to Friday and Saturday, and then the following week will be the Elite 8. And we got a player that just been waived by the Milwaukee Bucks, and we'll talk about that whole drama and what exactly happened. So we got a lot of stuff, man. We got a lot of stuff to share with y'all, so without further ado,
news from the world of sports.
Yo boy, BC, Lavonte David has retired from the NFL and has retired from your favorite team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. a 12-time captain, key member of the Super Bowl winning team back in 2020, and the longest tenured player on the Bucks' current roster, retiring after 14 years. He actually said this the other day. I feel it's time to move on and find a different path in life to be a dad to an amazing little girl over there. Pointed to his little girl while he was at the press conference, 3 years old. Having a girl help me become a man, help me understand what is important in life. He said this a week ago when he was making his decision. The first thing I thought about is how to figure out my life, how to figure out my identity, how to figure out who Lavonte David is. People see me as Lavonte David, the football player, but who is Lavonte David? The main thing is being a great father. So I bring this up on why he retired, saying that it was because of his daughter, which I truly believe it is. But knowing you work for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I'm sure you have some inside scoop that you can't share all of it with us, but I want to know if you think there is something more that is happening behind the scenes than him retiring because of his daughter, and it's not something else.
I will say that from what I've just kind of heard and just kind of seen over the last few years, especially just because he's been signing 1 year contracts since, gosh, like 2022, 2023. So this has been just kind of a yearly thing with Lavonte where it's, hey, how you feeling? Do you want to come back for another year? Because they could easily sign, they could have easily locked him up long term, but he was at a point in his career, I want to say in 2023, when he just started to he just wanted to take it on a year by year basis, kind of like what LeBron does in the NBA. And for the last few years, I would say, especially like 2023 with Dave Canales as the OC, Bucks making that surprising performance against the Eagles. I think the year after with Liam Cohen as the OC and the Bucks, having the best record they've had under Todd Bowles, the offense looking great. There was a lot of room for optimism to think that Lavonte could keep going, and he just continued to seem like an ageless wonder. Like he was never really going to age that badly at all. Even to this year, his last year, he's still out over 100 tackles, multiple sacks, multiple forced fumble recovery. Still finds ways to fill up the stat sheet, but this year definitely looked a lot different than he had in previous years. Even the year before that, sure he would miss the occasional tackle and stuff like that, but this year he seemed to miss a lot more of those. His mind was still sharp. He was still able to put himself in the right positions to make plays, but his body just didn't look like it was able to produce like it used to. And he was also dealing with several he was dealing with knee injuries at this point in the season as well. And then just pair that up with the late season collapse that I think that the Bucks had. I think all of those things, not kind of combined with the fact that again, he wants to be a good dad to his daughter. What player doesn't want to be that? And I think all of that was just the perfect storm for him to really be able to move on, I think. And I don't think any player wants to go out on a losing season, not go out making the playoffs. I don't think any great player wants to. No player doesn't want to go out on top. Like Peyton Manning did in the Super Bowl, Ray Lewis in the Super Bowl, Tom Brady could have in the Super Bowl. But there's always going to be that drive to keep going, And I honestly, it's sad to see this as his last season, just because of what happened at the end. But honestly, he was able to get a win at home. I think that was great. He was also able to make his final season the 50th season in team history, which I thought was pretty cool. All the different homages and different throwbacks and honoring the past. I think that this was pretty cool that we got to kind of see. It's almost poetic that his last year is in the 50th season of the team. And he leaves behind a great legacy. Again, numerous categories. One of the top five in games played, forced fumbles, tackles for loss. Didn't get as many interceptions compared to his contemporaries, but second most for a player that wasn't a secondary player. So he just all around and probably the most underrated player, not just in Bucks history, but probably in the history of the NFL. The stuff that man should have been given in his career, and he's only made one Pro Bowl, one first team All Pro, should have had 3 or 4 in each, I think, easily.
Yeah, very well said. I don't think there's anything more that's going on behind the scenes. I think it's just the fact that lot of wear and tear on his body. 14 years playing a linebacker position where you're always getting hit constantly each and every play, either by offensive lineman, a running back, or even by a small time receiver that could come and clip you from the sides. Like it's a lot. It's a lot that goes on with your body and your mind. Obviously, on top of the fact that you're traveling a lot of the time is being spent away from the family. A 3-year-old daughter,
Yep.
that 14-year career, a lot of things changed in the last 3 years in his mind, in his family's mind, the relationships around him, the friendships around him, sure. So he would have to put that priority forward. And after 14 seasons, man, like, dude, it's already like, yeah, like you're saying, he was getting 1-year deals for the last, what, like 5 years? It was?
It's like 2-3 years, yeah.
Yes. So he was already in the mindset of like, I'm thinking of retiring this season. Let me go have this one-on-one convo with the GM, with the owner, with the head coach, with my coaches, and see what's up. All right, cool, whatever. I'll come back for another year. Let me talk to my family about it and see how they feel. That's the type of path that he was on for the last 3 years. So now he was just like, look, Tampa, sorry, BC, but Tampa's a mediocre team. Doesn't look like we're really going places. Like, I can't be just hanging by a thread. Now you guys are getting Todd Bowles back, where a lot of people seem to disagree with that they don't think that's the right move that the Bucks should do. Maybe he's on that tip too. He's like, yo, this guy hasn't really done anything for us. Yeah, we won back in 2020, but it wasn't really with him. Yeah. So if this guy can't get us to the promised land right now, and I'm already at this age and I'm trying to be with my family, my body's already telling me to quit, like, why not just call it quits right now?
Yeah. And that was interesting though too. Like Todd Bowles, a lot of people, when Lavonte had an interview about whether or not he plans on coming back, he cited Todd Bowles, like his importance coming back, because he said, paraphrasing it, had he not been brought back as the head coach, he would have already retired. Which, I mean, I kind of understand it, but then at the same time, it's like he's still retired anyway. It's just like 2-3 months later. Yeah. But that's neither here nor there. Like, I really, I don't want to focus on gripes and stuff like that with Todd Bowles. I'd rather focus on the legacy that Lavonte is leaving behind. And he is this is no small feat either to say, but the second greatest linebacker in Bucks history behind Derek Brooks, who's a Hall of Famer. Like, they're basically, if we could have had two of those guys playing together for their entire careers on the same team, wow. Best linebacker tandem in the NFL. Both did basically the exact same thing, could rush the passer, could tackle anybody, could play in coverage, pick off passes. They were just absolute studs of their generations. And again, it is a shame that Lavonte does not have more than one Pro Bowl and one first-team All-Pro. And he's honestly up there with guys, Bobby Wagner, Luke Kuechly. I would say he goes up there with guys like Patrick Willis, Fred Warner. Like, he was that great. And because he spent the first part of his career as an outside linebacker in a 4-3 scheme, a lot of those Pro Bowls and All-Pro selections got oversought by 3-4 outside linebackers who, let's be honest, they were basically glorified defensive ends. So deserved a lot more, but I'm sure he'll still take the Pro Bowl nod. He'll take the All-Pro. He'll take the Super Bowl ring, because a lot of those guys like Luke Kuechly, Patrick Willis, Fred Warner, they don't have those. Like they don't have rings like that. So he will definitely, I would love if this upcoming season they put him in the Ring of Honor, maybe alongside Gene Deckerhoff, the play-by-play radio guy, but he definitely will get a spot in the Ring of Honor. Hall of Fame is a little bit trickier just because he's got the stats. He definitely has the stats of a Hall of Famer, just not the accolades, which is a shame.
Yeah. Shout out to Lavonte David, man. Great career. 14 years is a long time to play. Super Bowl champ, Pro Bowler too. He can say that he put it on his resume, man. And he ran a defense to where they could stop a lot of teams from scoring the football. So shout out to him, man.
Yep. Now he's going to enjoy fatherhood, man. Happy for him.
Yep. Facts. Well, we'll move on to another player one player that ended his career by choice, another player that put his career on pause, and it wasn't by choice. And that was Cam Thomas getting waived by the Milwaukee Bucks. And, dude, just to give everybody a little insight, the Milwaukee Bucks waived him after 2 months of signing him. to convert a two-way contract for forward Pete Nance into a standard NBA contract. Bucks general manager John Horst said Thomas has a key part of this team's ability to contend this season and in the future after he joined the Bucks when he was waived by the Brooklyn Nets on February 8th. So he said that when they signed him, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Thomas scored 34 points off the bench in his second game with the Bucks on February 11th, Coach Doc Rivers raved a lot about him after saying, I've had Jamal Crawford, I've had Lou Will, now I have Cam Thomas. Before I keep going, why are you comparing this guy to those two greats? Yeah, Thomas's role diminished in the recent weeks. He averaged 9.6 points on 41% shooting with 1.9 assists, 22% from the three. Yikes.
Yeah.
16 minutes in 16 games. Since that game, he scored 34 points off the bench. Now, with all this said and done, Coach Rivers said this yesterday. We ran out of bodies. At the end of the day, there were more guys you have to make a decision on. I thought about Cam was a really good overall player, and he may be someone we revisit in the future. Just where we're at right now, it's not really as the hunt as it was when we signed him. We thought it was the right thing to do for the rest of the guys right now. With that being said, him being waived by the Brooklyn Nets back on February 8th, and now being waived less than 2 months of him being with the Bucks.
Yep.
Is there something about Cam Thomas that doesn't make him a good locker room guy, or is it his play? Did he not fit right with the Bucks? The schemes weren't good for him, or is it more of his personality? Like, basically asking you, is it him or is it the teams?
I think it's just definitely him at this point in his career. Like I remember when he torched the Magic, got 34 points in that victory against Orlando. And a lot of people were saying, like, man, why didn't the Magic go after this guy? And I mean, we're kind of seeing now, like, this is kind of why. This is what happens when you have a lot of streaky bench players, streaky shooters and everything like that. Like they look great, they look hot for a game or two. Going back to Cole Anthony as another example. Oh, he's got that dog in him, looks great, makes some clutch shots, makes some big points, scores like 30 in one night, and then he disappears for like stretches of the season. And it's like, I'm sorry, but when it comes to being an NBA bench player, you can't be streaky to where you are hot for one game and then you're absolutely cold and nobody knows where you're at the rest of the time. Like you gotta have some consistency. Name me those names again. Read off those names that Doc Rivers said that he got spoiled with, and now he's got Cam Thomas. Who do you compare him to again? Let's read them one more time.
Quote, I've had Jamal Crawford. I had Lou Will. Now I have Cam Thomas. So,
two guys who have the most 6 Men of the Year awards in NBA history. 3-piece. There is no comparison to him. I will say Jamal, you could say at times was streaky shoot, but dude had a bag and he was consistently getting you 10 a night, 10, 15 a night, easy. There were not stretches where everyone's like, oh, where's Jamal Crawford? Because he would pull out so many different moves behind the back and everything. You'd be like, oh, yeah, there he is. Cam Thomas? Who? Where?
Bad comparison. After one game.
Yep.
After one game. Back.
Yep. Yo, like I said, man, they're streaky players, there's a certain, I guess, place for them, but as far as like being like a sixth man, like the guy that you plug in right off the bench, no, those are the guys you kind of bring in a little bit further down on the depth chart. And I think Cam maybe saw himself as a little bit more than that, but at this point in his career, he's not that guy. Not that guy.
You want to know how I know that he's a locker room problem and it's not because of the teams?
Let's hear it.
Two things. One, he was waived from 2 teams in one season.
Mm-hmm.
The second is when he was waived by the Nets, he said, the Nets don't let you go out there and be yourself. He started tarnishing them. And if you're a player that can be the bigger person in this instant of being waived and going to another team and just trying to prove yourself and put yourself in that team to help them win, you're not going to be worried about what just happened in the past. You're going to be grateful and glad that you just got another opportunity to play, right?
Yep.
After a few games, he goes to tarnish the Nets, where he could have just left it. Is what it is, and just move on. Be like, oh, I thank them for the opportunity. It just didn't work out there, but now I'm here and I'm ready to go. No, he didn't do that. He started to tarnish them and talk smack about them, and that's when I knew, this guy feels himself too much, so to say. Like he thinks that he's better than what he is, and I think he's good. I think he can eventually, if he grows up and he becomes more mature, he can eventually get to Jamal Crawford and Lou Will kind of sense. Not saying that he would be them, but in that aspect of being a good six man in helping teams score and win, being a big impact on them having success, he can do that. But you got to change the mentality. You gotta be a good locker room guy, a good teammate that people want you around. Because another thing, when have you heard someone say something good about Cam Thomas?
It's been a minute.
Never. I've never heard it. I've never heard anybody, no player, say something good. Obviously now the coach is saying something good because he's being asked by the media on how they perceive a signing that they had in the middle of the season to help them win and get them into the playoffs. Obviously, it didn't work out. So they're going to ask him the question, and of course, he's going to answer it.
Yep.
But I haven't heard any teammate of his from the past or now, and obviously now he's waived, have said something good about him. So that's another reason why I know that he is basically like a bad insect in the locker room.
Yep. Well, and the fact that on the court though too, I just feel like his presence has kind of been like we've said, it's been a little bit overrated. Like this year, he's got about, let me pull up, he's got like 13, 14 points a game. He's shooting 11 shots a game to get to that point. Even in the years where he looked great, like, oh man, he's got like 20, 22, 23, 24 points a game. Yeah, 18 shots a game, it'll get you that. It's pretty easy to do that when you're taking so many shots to get there. Again, inefficient scorer on the bench, hot, cold. Just I feel like his peak has. I feel like we're on the downside already, and he's only what about 25, 26? No, 24. He's 24. He's got to figure it out, or else the Cole Anthony comparisons aren't going to stop. So,
honestly, like I always wish everybody success. So I hope he changes his mentality and he gets another shot, because the guy is skillful, bro. He can ball. He could get you points and he could help a team win. He's just got to change his mentality, be a little bit more mature, and go in there with an attitude of, you know what, I'm gonna be my very best and I'm gonna help my teammates no matter what the situation gets.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it was the ending week for him, but it's opening week for other people. And you know what I'm talking about, BC, because it's your time. It's your time.
America's pastime from Brandon's Bullpen.
Yeah.
Week, baby, MLB, and it starts tomorrow with the New York Yankees visiting the San Francisco Giants Wednesday night, 8 p.m. It's going to be a good show after the World Baseball.
So about 4 or 5 o'clock on Pacific Standard Time, so they'll be starting with the lights still bright over there.
Shine.
Yeah, man.
It's so gonna be dope, man. It's gonna be dope because everybody was. I wouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people were tuning into the World Baseball Classic, and
oh yeah, dude.
At the end of it, Venezuela won. Happy for them. With all the stuff that they've been through, sucks that they beat USA, and USA lost the same score that they lost last time to Japan, which was 3-2. Venezuela did it to them, man. But now it's ramping up for an MLB opening week. And opening days tomorrow. I'll let you take it.
Dude, before we get into opening day or opening week in general, I just got to say, this better be the last time Mark DeRosa coaches Team USA. Because, like, back-to-back chokes in the finals like that, can we not get anybody else? It doesn't have to be a current manager.
Let me ask you. Yeah. Why is it that there wasn't a current manager coaching?
I think, honestly, a lot of it is just because they want to be for the players. I feel like in their minds, it's easier for them to kind of just play and get into playing shape. For the coaches, they want to be there more with the teams to evaluate the young talent. They want to be there because then if they're having to manage all these other
players, the MLB you're talking about.
Yeah,
For them,
exactly.
okay.
Yeah, like if Kevin Cash were to manage Team USA, he's not gonna be able to look at some younger guys, be able to work his rosters and his lineups. No
Okay.
coach is gonna be able to. So it's kind of yeah, it's just kind of not a good time for them. But I mean, there are still other former managers that they could easily bring. Joe Madden, former Rays and Cubs manager Joe Madden would be a much better fit for Team USA, I think, than Mark DeRosa, because he actually was really good at matchups and getting his players to play. The biggest problem with Team USA is that they were so unfocused. They'd crack off 3 straight wins, capping it off against Mexico in the pool in the second to last game of the pool of play, and then drop it to Italy. Like, what are you doing? And then yes, they got the great win against Dominican Republic. Awesome. Phenomenal game, dramatic, down to the wire, exactly what you want. But then it was just kind of more of the same in the finals, resting on their laurels, waiting until the very end. Oh yeah, now let's finally get a home run. Yeah, let's finally now tie it up. And then it's too late. Venezuela wanted it more than them, and they got beat again because a team wanted more than them, and that's their fault. But that aside, Team USA aside, it's no longer our sport anymore. It's Venezuela's sport. But that aside, if we're playing recency bias, yeah, Yankees versus Giants. It's going to be a good one. You got Logan Webb, Max Fried taking it to the hill. Battle of the Aces here. It's going to be, I think, a good matchup for sure. Um, you're going to get a little bit of some history though too between these two teams. Like before the Giants played out in San Francisco. For those of you old heads, for those of you that are the Boomer generation, they'll love this segment. Um, Giant or San Fran actually played or not in Brooklyn, in New York for a while. They used Polo Grounds. It was a good old rivalry between the Yankees and the Giants. So not necessarily Yankees Red Sox to start off opening week, but still a fun matchup, like a callback to the good old days, stuff like that. And then tomorrow, or then the day after, Thursday, 11 games on tap. A lot of good matchups here. You've got Detroit versus San Diego. That's going to be a good matchup. Tarek Skubal, who's got a bone to pick with the Tigers brass for still not signing him yet, even though that man is due a bag and then some. Probably my favorite Tiger right now. But then my favorite matchup of the week, Tampa Bay Rays going up to St. Louis and taking on the Cardinals. My dad's side of the family loves the Cardinals, and then everybody else in my family loves the Rays. So it's a match made in heaven. I'm excited to see Drew Rasmussen getting his opening day start. I'm excited for guys like Junior Caminero, who killed it in the WBC. Big star making moment right there for Junior Caminero for Dominican Republic at third base. You got Carson Williams, the young hot shortstop for the Rays. A lot of older veterans, guys like Yandy Diaz. Oh man, I was about to say, G-Mike's getting a little allergic to the baseball talk already, man.
I'm here sneezing in the background. My allergies are killing me.
But there's a lot of good storylines for the Rays this year. They've got the fact that you got the ownership drama, the stadium drama on top of opening week here. But I think it's going to be a fun opening week, and I'm looking forward to with those storylines so far.
Yeah, man. After the World Baseball Classic, I was like, dude, I have to start watching baseball more. I started the other day. I was actually thinking, I'm like, dude, you know what? I'm gonna try and get some fellas together, start up a softball league. You know,
Dude,
play,
hit me up, man. I will come down south and
oh
play.
yeah, 3.5 hours.
Hey, I'll come down there, man. Like, fly me down. I'll play first base. I'll be like that one guy from Benchwarmers, bro.
Yeah, bro. No, I've done it before. It's super fun, man. You go out there with 10 guys, and bro, it's dope. It's like 10 weeks, and including playoffs. So like it's like what 2 months, 2.5 months. It's super dope, super dope. But yeah, I was like, man, I gotta start watching baseball again. The World Baseball Classic was phenomenal. I actually stayed up that whole time to watch that Venezuela game against USA. It ended almost at midnight. It was a thriller right to the end because after Bryce Harper hit that home run, USA got up and they were like, "Yo, man, yo, we think we could do it." And then Venezuela came back and said, "Nah, man, we wanted more than you guys do," and they did. They did. The whole time they're showing that they wanted it more.
Yep. And I will say, like, looking into some more matchups for opening day, some ones to watch about. If you're big on pitching, definitely Pittsburgh versus New York. You got Paul Skeens, Freddie Peralta. That's gonna be a great matchup. Again, Tarek Skubal versus Pavetta is gonna be great. You got Garrett Crochet taking the mound for Boston against Cincy. That's going to be a fun one. Honestly, the biggest question, and it's going to be Arizona and LA, Zach Gallen versus Yamamoto. The question is, who's going to be the team that steps up and beats the Dodgers? Because
nobody.
if you've been seeing the whole AI generated list for like World Series champions the next 10 years, it's depressing. It's the Dodgers every single year. So, and that's the other thing. Next year, we're going to get a salary. This might be the last year we have baseball for a substantial amount of time because this seems to be the most heated collective bargaining agreement in recent history. Like, players don't want a salary cap. Owners want the salary cap. The players want a salary floor. It's going to be, hold on, buckle your seatbelts. It's going to be a wild ride for the next couple of years. And it starts tomorrow night. So it's going to be good, man.
It's going to be good for real, man. It's going to be good. Excited for baseball to start, baby. New York Yankees tomorrow. You already know. We're going to several Marlins games this year, dog. You know?
Yeah.
I'm a Yankees and Marlins fan. I know some people say, oh, you can't be fans of two teams, blah, blah, blah. Suck it. Suck it. But yeah. Can't wait, bro. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. But, hey, what has been fun, too, man, is this March Madness tournament.
Woo! Yeah, man. Who loves a good tournament, right? Who doesn't love a good one?
It's been crazy.
It's From the Hardwood with VFTS.
VFTS for real, baby, because March Madness has been going crazy for the last few weeks, man. It's been insane. Unfortunately, both of our teams has been knocked out of the team got knocked out first round.
Right? Yep. We lost by 4 against Louisville, but you know, that's what happens when you start off ice cold from beyond the arc. So
Yep. And then we lost to one of the best teams in the nation, Purdue, by 10 points last week? Saturday?
Yep. Yeah, it was a respectable game though. Like respectable.
Yeah, man. We gave them a fight for sure. It's just too many mistakes, too many turnovers, a lot of unrealistic plays when it came for us to try to force shots to make buckets. Purdue was just executing on all cylinders, man, and you gotta tip your hat to them.
Yep. Well, and then there's Florida choking in the second round.
Big time, Steve.
That's why you avoided us.
That's why you didn't come on, because they choke nasty.
That's all right. We'll get him. We'll get him when he comes back. We'll be like, man, how about that repeat? How about that back to back? Oh wait, dang.
Did you see that one photo of that dude that was huge in the stands? Did you see him?
I did, but that was good.
Like, yo, what's up with these Gator fans being huge, bro?
I don't know. There's something in the water up in Gainesville, man.
Yeah,
swamp. It's something. Look at Tim Tebow, man. Look at Tim Tebow. That was their quarterback for like 4 years, man. That dude
Tebow's a man of God, dude. He doesn't do that.
Nah, man. Oh, that aside, but yeah, but it's been a good tournament. I think last time I checked, there was like 2 or 3 total brackets left that weren't busted. I could be wrong. That was like I think a day ago I'd heard it.
It was one. There's one left, and
one left.
I think a lot of brackets went to crap when Wisconsin lost, because Wisconsin loss, bro, that was very surprising to me.
Honestly, from what my buddy told me, like it was, I had a buddy that was working USF baseball with, and he was like, he was hoping we got the matchup with Wisconsin. And I was like, when he got Louisville, he was like, yeah, High Point's gonna upset. I'm like, dang. And then just to see that come true, I'm like, oh, that could have been us.
Crazy upset.
But UCF also lost, so I'm not too bitter about that. We both lost in the first round. The War on I-4 keeps it going. So
Did they play BYU? They played BYU?
I got the turn.
BYU played Texas. That's right.
Yeah, they played UCLA. And they lost by the same amount of points. So it's like nobody can brag that, oh, yeah, we lost by less. So it's like, no, we both suck.
I mean, it doesn't matter how much you lose by. It's either you win or you lose. You know what I'm saying? But we got some good games starting up again. It's Sweet 16 this Thursday. We got, if you want to do some quick hitters here, Texas Purdue. What you got?
See, I was gonna say you got Purdue's pretty much like 7.5 point favorites. They're not. I don't see Texas making it any farther than this, where
Yeah,
their Cinderella story comes to an end here.
yeah. I like the
Purdue's,
way they've been playing though. They've been playing a lot of top notch defense, very together on their zone play. The
Mhm.
hustle is crazy, outstanding. Which is why I picked them to beat BYU. I was like, yeah, they got AJ. AJ would be nasty, but Texas, the way that they've been playing on a heater for the last 2 weeks has been insane. But
Yep.
Purdue, like I just mentioned, they're just very well executed. Like they know how to run their plays, how to make tough buckets, how to make easy buckets, and not to do so much, and just to do
Yep.
the right amount and make the game simple for themselves. And Texas, they're gonna give them a fight, but I think in like the last 6 minutes of the game, Purdue's gonna take off and maybe win by like 7 points. Actually, I think the spread is pretty good, 7.5. I would say 6.5, but I think the spread is pretty good.
Yep.
Ohio,
That was
Iowa or Nebraska?
See, that one is where I've got the upset. I think Iowa,
Me
they're
too.
rolling off the momentum they've got against Florida. Nebraska barely made it out against Vanderbilt. So I'm gonna give the nod to Iowa. I think this is the one where this will be kind of a Cinderella story. Bit of a higher seeded Cinderella, but it's still technically you're a lower seed compared to the others. So you technically make the cut. So yeah, I got Iowa against Nebraska in that one.
Nebraska has been playing really good lately, and this is the first time that they ever make the Sweet 16. So you gotta applaud them for that. But I
Mhm.
think Iowa shooting this is gonna outmatch Nebraska's. I think they have some really good guard play, and Nebraska's not gonna be able to hold up with it. I got the upset on this one too.
Mm.
Arkansas, Arizona. That's the game that I need to.
Mhm. I got Arizona on this one, man. This one, I like the way that they've been playing. I know Arkansas, you know, I think maybe there's just a little bit because Arkansas also beat High Point, but like I don't know, man. I think I think they got just enough juice to be able to outlast Arkansas. And you know, like I said, man, you took out High Point, you took out Cinderella. I just don't know.
Yeah, I got Arizona too. I just think better overall team play offensively and defensively. Arkansas has a better point guard at the position for sure. I think he'll be a top 5 draft pick, if not top 3. But Arizona's team play is just going to outmatch Arkansas. Arkansas is probably going to lose by 5 points in this game.
Hmm.
And then the last one of the night on Thursday is going to be Illinois and Houston. This is another good game too. I
Yep.
just think the Arkansas Arizona one is going to be
Yeah, this one I got Illinois on this one. Again, I like the way that they played. They've been playing the last few weeks. I mean, obviously dominating Penn, and then pretty sizable. You could argue probably say dominating VCU as well. So I think that they keep it rolling. I would say both schools have dominated the opponents that they played. I just like Illinois just a little bit more in this case.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Houston. I feel like they're very speedy. They hustle more. Illinois got a good front court. I think they'll probably get more rebounds in this game, but Houston's
Yeah.
gonna execute their shot making and the way that they play defense too. Like I said, they're speedy and they hustle. So that means on defense they're gonna be doing that as well. So if Illinois doesn't take advantage of their offensive opportunities, Houston is gonna do that on the other.
Hmm.
But yeah, man, a lot of basketball coming up lately. We got March Madness coming down to Sweet 16. Next week is gonna be Elite Eight, and then 2 weeks from now is already gonna be the Final Four. Then we're gonna have the national championship. It's gonna be
Which
great.
is kind of odd though, because then it's like national championship's going to be on April 6th, man. We can't call March Madness anymore, dude. What are we doing?
But the
What are we
thing
doing?
is that in March there's madness.
I know. So
You know
that
what
I
I'm
don't know
saying?
what we.
You know what I'm saying?
Somewhat, man. Somewhat, man. We got to find a way to rework this a little bit. Maybe move the tournaments back a little bit. Like get the whole tournament in March, man. You got to.
I
I don't
guess
know.
maybe.
That's marketing, man. That's the marketing in me. But a lot of great college basketball on tap. A lot of great basketball has been played so far. So I've been absolutely loving it. Which I mean, we'll kind of talk about a little bit the opposite here in just a sec, right?
No, that's exactly what we're going to talk about because, like you just mentioned, there's madness in March, and then in April, there's April Fools for us too. That's
Nah,
what there is. That's
March
what there is.
Madness, March Madness, April Sadness. There you go.
Yeah, that was perfect. That was
There you
perfect.
go.
And the reason we bring that up is because we wanted to vet a little bit about our two NBA teams, the Miami Heat and the Orlando Magic, and how they have been very mediocre and sad and disappointing this season. And I feel like we're at a point that we are used to this. So, want to start off with BC first and let you guys know how he's feeling about the Orlando Magic, where they should have been a top 3 team in the Eastern Conference, and now they're not even top 10.
We should have been top 2 because at the beginning of this year, there was nobody. The only team I was worried about at the beginning of the season on paper was the Knicks.
Not Detroit? Not Detroit at all?
No, I mean, I'll be honest. I thought they would be fine, but I did not see them being that good. Let me say that. I was not worried about them in a playoff game as much as a team like New York. I thought for sure this would kind of reignite that old like Knicks Magic rivalry from way back in the day. But I thought for sure they'd get 50 plus wins. I thought for sure their defense was still going to be like top 5 in the league. I thought their offense was going to be taking a step and being like a top 5, maybe even a top 10, because supposedly for the last 3-4 years, it's been players have been injured and just keeping that continuity. And again,
well, those are facts. Those are facts, though. They have been injured.
Yes, but the thing is that people have almost been using it now as a crutch to be like, okay, well, we're just going to continue to excuse mediocre play when not everybody is together. They have enough star power on this team, even when guys like Franz Wagner aren't playing, even when Jalen Suggs isn't playing. It's not like the Miami Heat big 3, for example, where you have like Wade, Bosh, and Braun, and then like kind of after that, like that first year where there was like nobody on the bench. Like they have plenty of guys to go through. You've got outside. All right, let's name the core 4: Suggs, Bane, Paolo, and Franz. After those guys, starting with your guards and your wings, you've got Anthony Black. You've got Tristan da Silva.
You got Angel Reese. Oh, no, sorry.
This Wendell Carter, but yeah, Angel Reese's man. There you go. But you got Dell. You've got Goga Batadze. You've got Mo Wagner now just coming back. You have depth on this roster. J.I. The problem is that, again, a lot of these guys are getting hurt, which is that on you guys for holding on to them for too long? Maybe you should have parted ways with the Jonathan Isaac. Maybe you should have parted ways with the Wendell Carter, because, like, looking at...
I said both of those, by the way. Just want to say.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think you could have packaged those guys and gotten something for them. But, this year, you've got Wendell Carter Jr., 11, 12 points. Okay, that's better than what he's done that's better than what he did last year. As your starting center, 7.5 rebounds. I get it on offense. He's called to space the floor a little bit. And I get on defense. He switches a lot. That's the thing with the Magic. They like to switch. I get that. But as your center, you're still telling me like he can't give you double-digit rebounds? And then less than the steal and less than the block for me. I'm sorry. I get the switchability thing. That's still unacceptable for your center. To not at least get a block or a block and a half a game. And he's supposed to be athletic. So, and other people that they have on the roster, like Anthony, honestly, if I was the Magic, I would love to see a lineup that has like Suggs, Bane, Black, Franz, and Paolo. Put Paolo at the 5. I know he's not the best defender and everything, but he gives you a lot more on offense. So there's a lot of problems with this team, and I think Paolo's probably a prime example of it. I feel like the team, when he was hurt, the team kind of moved a little bit better with guys like with Franz, with Bane, with Suggs, because they kind of just let the offense flow around each other. They didn't try to do too much. If Franz wasn't having a great night, he wouldn't try to take 15, 16 shots. He would just defer to Bane. Same thing with Suggs. But with Powell coming back, he tends to command the ball a lot, put the ball on the floor a lot in his hands. And I don't know, I feel like it's almost the case of too many mouths to feed on the offense. And there's not as much guys leaning into their strengths instead of guys wanting to lean into the game they want to play. And it's a little frustrating.
For me, I think that Paulo should play what Cam Boozer is doing now with Duke. I think he should work on the post.
Yep.
Work it. If it's not there, they double team you. Kick it out. Get your assist
Yeah.
up. Get your assist up. If they're not double teaming you, all right, cool. Post fade away. Try to drain it. Try to take them to the basket. Get a layup and a foul. A dunk and a foul. Like try to create around the rim for sure. But him getting the ball at the top of the key and trying to either create or try to drive to the basket or try to drive and pull up midi, like, nah, man, that's not the type of player. That's not the type of player that you are. The type of player that you are is a dude that works on the post and does his work from there. You did that at Duke. You did that in the beginning with the Magic, and now you're changing it up because you feel like you need to, but you don't because you got Bane on the outside, Suggs on the outside. Yeah, he's not that much of a consistent shooter, but he can shoot it.
He's
Franz Wagner, he can shoot as well, but if he doesn't, you kick it out to him, and he will create because he can create for himself.
Yep. Even just Anthony Black's shooting has gotten better this year.
He needs to work on the block, dude. Just
stay
on the block.
I agree. And he at 6'10" and 250, he is such a size mismatch for so many forwards in the league. Like, you're telling me that he can't back a guy down and just do simple post fade or post hooks?
Bro, 100%. He'll probably be the best dude in the NBA to do that.
Well, and in addition to that, I wish the team would run a lot more pick and rolls than they do. You have 4 guys that are super physical on both sides of the ball. You're telling me that you can't have Bane and Powell running a pick and roll game and getting easy buckets like that? You're telling me you can't do that same thing for like Suggs and Franz? Like, those 2-man games that those 2 sets of guys could run interchangeably is amazing. And then you've also got Dell, who you can also bring in as like a tertiary pick and roll guy or pick and pop. But they don't run a lot of motions. They don't run a lot of plays. They don't run a lot of sets.
On the corner 3, bro. That's all he does on offense. He needs to sit on the corner 3. On defense, he needs to grab rebounds. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah. But the thing is that the offense doesn't have a lot of rhythm. It doesn't have a lot of flow. It doesn't have a lot of motion. Right. It's just very simplistic. It's get the ball to your star players, let them do what they want, and then just get back on defense. Yeah. And this year, it's not even like looking at their stuff right now. Off points per game, they're about middle of the pack, which is fine. Points against, they're outside the top 10, which is a step back. Then you look at offensive and defensive rating, they're even worse. So they're mid-tier right now, and they were supposed to take that next step. And I'm starting to think, how much of this are you putting on the players, which they do bear some of that, but also how much of it is the coach for not
That's what I think it is.
Players.
I think it's the coach because you go from your top selected player in the NBA draft, what, 4 or 5 years ago, whatever, when Pablo was drafted, for him being a back to the basket player and working on the block, to him not being at the top of the key trying to create for himself and do all these mix and match movements like he's a guard. That has to be on the coach. Because if I was the coach, I'd be like, yo, Pablo, get your ass on the block.
Yep. I agree. And the thing is, like, Coach Mo was brought in to raise the defensive ability of this team. And to his credit, he did for a few years now. The problem is that he's never been a great offensive coach. And if you're going to rely on your players to run the offense, that's not how you want to do it. I think that pretty much with the situation right now, and I honestly do think that after this season, unless the Magic somehow win the finals this year or somehow make a deeper run to the playoffs than any of us expected, I think Coach Mo's done. I really do. He reminds me,
in my opinion, he should be, man.
He reminds me a lot of a Mark Jackson kind of coach, a guy that he's going to raise the floor for your team, but he's not that guy to take you over the top.
This is the ceiling.
Yep.
Where you can get to here, this is his ceiling.
He's a floor raiser, not a ceiling raiser. So congratulations on being a playing team. But if you want to take that next step and be an Eastern Conference contender, you need to fire him and you need to bring in somebody that's serious and that's going to get Paolo and these guys to buy into a system, to believe in that system, and to not try to act like they're the one-man show. They need to have a system around them, not just give the ball to your star player and let them cook.
You see, and that's where the problem arises for me with the Miami Heat, because I think it's opposite for them. I don't think it's the coach. I think it's the players that have reached their ceiling and they can't get above that.
I mean, Bam scoring 83 is a pretty high ceiling. So
I'm not talking about Bam. I'm talking about Tyler Hero defensively.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Kel Ware looks like sometimes he doesn't want to be out there. And then when he is out there, yeah, he'll give you 20 and 10. But when are we going to get him to be consistent with that and not just be inconsistent? You get what I'm saying? Davon Mitchell has no type of offense. Pelly Larson, he's coming into his own. I think he's one that we should keep for sure. Jovic, he's so inconsistent that we need to get out of there. I don't understand why we didn't put him in our offer for any type of trade. Like, I just think the players on the Miami Heat roster most of them have reached their peak potential, and Spo can get more out of them, which is why we need to trade, and we should have been doing this for the last 3-4 years, bro. Like, we were holding on to Tyler to see if he could give us more, and he did offensively, for sure. But defensively, he's a fucking liability, man. Like, the other day, we lost to the Rockets because he couldn't box out Ben Thompson, and they won by a point. Shout out to Kevin Durant for passing Michael Jordan on all-time scoring list, by the way.
Sad, man.
But, dude, man, like, I just think that these players have reached their peak potential. Most of them, not all of them, most of them, and we need to use them as trade bait and need better guards. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what we need. We need better guards. And I think Hero is great offensively, but dude, the Heat culture is defense. Yeah. Defense first. And Tyler Hero does not bring that for us, man. We need to trade him off and try to get someone in return, or if not, some picks, man, because the guy has a ceiling, bro. He has a ceiling. He's great offensively, again, but defensively, he's a freaking liability. And if we have Norman Powell already, that he is an all-star for us, where I think he should have been an all-star last year for the Clippers too, but he's an all-star for us because of his offense, and his defense is all right. Why are we going to have two guards that their defense are below average, and their offense obviously is above average, but defensively we're going to get cooked by teams? Like, the last 4 weeks, we lost to playoff teams. Like, our defensive rating against playoff teams is like in the bottom 10. Against good teams, we're like a top 5. But the playoff teams, we're like bottom 10. How do we expect to get past Pistons, even with King Cunningham out? Yeah. Cleveland, now with James Harden running the show over there, obviously, alongside Donovan Mitchell. Freaking New York Knicks, where they look like they're the ones on the heater right now. They're trying to get to the NBA Finals. And you got several other teams in the East, like the Atlanta Hawks and the Charlotte Hornets, that are coming up, and they're playing way harder and way better than we are. Like,
well, pretty much like everyone in our division is playing. It looks like they're playing better ball than both of our teams. Like, it's
100%.
Yeah, I will say
Wizards. For the Wizards.
Yeah, except them. Although, shoot, we just lost the Pacers like last night, so it's like, that I don't know about that. But I will say this though too. Even when it comes to player personnel, like, our problems are kind of different. Like, you have on your guards not a whole lot of defense. For us, we kind of have the opposite problem, where it's like, we have Suggs who plays a lot of defense. He's working on his offense a little bit. And then even in the post, our biggest weakness is at center, and y'all's strength is at center. It's like, can we just combine our teams? We just do that. Like, you imagine
let's trade with each other. Like, if it's bad,
all right,
basketball.
I will take Hero and Bam off your hands, and you can take whoever you want off our hand. Like, let's say if you want,
I'm not giving up Bam. I'm not giving up Bam. I'll give you.
Right. What would it take to give up Bam? Who would you take?
Pablo.
All right, let's do. Let me think.
But even then, I still don't want Pablo because I'd rather have the defense.
Yeah.
Because, again, have Norman Powell, right? So if I get another guard in return that can play defense, like it just speaking on your team.
Yeah.
If you give me Jalen Suggs for Hero, you're winning that trade, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't be mad because he's going to bring that defensive intensity, and he could give me a 3 if he wanted to. Yes, exactly. Ben Curl for Bam, that would be – I wouldn't do it, but that would be who I would need. But
speaking of the Magic,
Suggs for Hero would be, in my opinion, would be
Yeah.
an ideal trade. You get what I'm saying? Like you're getting someone that's gonna help you score with Bane, Franz, and Paulo, but now you need Anthony Blackmore in the game because Hero can't cover for shit. For us, we're getting Jalen Suggs. We lose a scorer, but we're getting way more defensively that we can lean on Norman Powell and Bam and Ware to get us more points. You get what I'm saying?
Yep. Well, and speaking,
He needs Josh Hart.
Dude, we just
honestly, he's a great hustle guy, bro. And the guy looks like he'll give you 110% effort each and every damn night, and he wants to win. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad with Josh Hart.
I'm just trying to think. Like, we need some kind of rim protection at center. Like, Bam definitely does like fit that mold too. But it's like if y'all won't give him up, we need somebody that when you take it into the post, like you're gonna be afraid to shoot it because he's gonna swat it away. But nobody fears really going inside because what? Dell's gonna contest a shot. Congratulations. What good does that do? Like, come on. Oh, well, it's more than just block shots per game. It's like, okay, but you can't call yourself a rim protector if you don't protect the rim. Like you can be switchable and that's great. But how well do you actually do at the rim? And right now I'm trying to look up like some of Bam's stats right now, though, too, and stuff. Like, man, I don't know, man. I'm just tired. I'm tired of seeing these stats where it's like we're getting out rebounded, getting out blocked. We're getting outplayed on both sides of the court. And right now, speaking of getting outplayed, 125-118. Cleveland leads the Magic in 4 minutes left in the fourth. So
the center and name only, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wendell Carter Jr. 3 and D guy, if anything.
Angel Reese's boyfriend. That's the better term. But see but that's another guy. Like we talked about hanging on for guys for too long. He's been here since 21 with Vooch. Like, how many more chances are we going to give this guy before we let him go? He's just not that guy. And everyone keeps saying the same arguments, and it just kind of gets tired of it, where it's like, okay, you can't keep the same guys together and expect anything different. If you know somebody's holding you back, bring in a defensive-minded center. Doesn't even have to be a three-point shooter necessarily. Like, I'm tired of, they have to shoot the three all the time. Just make him competent enough with the ball in his hands. And then the rest of the time, just let him focus on defense. And then have Powell, like you said, post up or make Powell take more threes. Have him work on his three-point shot. Stop doing these contested mid-range jumpers like you're Carmelo Anthony because you're not him. And then the rest of your guys are shooting well enough from outside where they're shooting 35, 36%. You can respect that. But, yeah, that's our crash out from the stands tonight.
Yeah. On the Orlando Magic and Miami Heat edition.
Yes. I'm sure Steve will have Dallas Mavericks coming in hot.
Oh, yeah. No, we would have got another 30 minutes if we had him here.
Oh, yeah. We'd be hearing how Concanupple should not be winning Rookie of the Year and it's Cooper Flags still.
How Najee Marshall missed a wide open 3 to win the game the other night.
How Nico Harrison is the worst general manager in the NBA history.
Freaking
salute you, Steve.
Well, yeah, guys. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of the Views from the Stands. Please don't forget to follow us on our socials: IG, TikTok, and Twitter. On Twitter, it's at Views Stands. IG and TikTok is at Views from the Stands. Brandon, let them know what you got going on, Mike.
I mean, you got it in the thumbnail, or not the thumbnail, in the little bio right there. BC the brand _media. That's where you can find me on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook. Working on getting some other stuff going as well on YouTube and other stuff. Got to work with the missus on that one. But it's where you can kind of see the journey. You can kind of see, public address announcing, camera operating, voiceover work, trying to do all of it. So you can kind of see what it's like working in pro sports. And then the missus, y'all already know, y'all been listening long enough. Brandes.media, that's where she does her photography, videography, weddings, engagements, corporate events. She's fantastic at what she does. She best in the world. That's all I can say. So Brandes.media, BC the brand _media. That's where you can find the both of us at.
Yep. Guys, you can follow me on socials as well. IG, TikTok, GMike Media _ and on YouTube as well. I have another podcast with myself. It's called G Perspective. It's on all podcast platforms and on YouTube as well. And if you're into sports gambling, I run a Telegram channel where we offer sports gambling slips daily to get you winnings from $25 to $50 to $100. It's only $10 a month, and we have an affiliate program where you can make more money on the side as well. Been hitting on the NCAA tournament, been hitting on the NBA, and now MLB opening up tomorrow night. We're going to be hitting on that as well. You'll see the link pop up on your screen.
I see what you did there.
You feel me? You'll see the link pop up on your screen. And if not, just hit me up on one of my socials, slide in my DMs, and we can get a conversation to how to get you on and popping. BC, appreciate it, my guy. You already know. We're back again Friday. Go Yankees. Go Yankees, baby.
Raise up.
Raise. Nah.